What's up guys, Wild and Customs here, and today we're going to take a look at Transformers Prime First Edition's Deluxe Starscream. I actually held off from getting this for a long time because I wanted to see how good the Robots in the Skies Voyager class was. However, when I finally saw some previews of it and reviews, I wasn't too happy about it. I didn't like the sculpt, I didn't like the size, it's way too big. So I thought this one was actually the better one, so that's why I finally got this. Let's take a look at the back. Pretty cool. Alright, let's open them up. Alright guys, here's Starscream out of the box. He looks pretty good. I do like the look. It does look pretty good, just like the show. He does have a little bit kibble on the bottom, but it's pretty understandable because he gets pretty big in robot mode. Also, he doesn't have 3 missiles. He only has 1 on the show, but that's not really a bad thing, honestly. Other than that, he is kind of small in vehicle mode compared to some others. Here is Robots in the Skies Bumblebee. But like I said, it's okay, I guess, because he does, like I said, he does make up for it in robot mode. Other than that, I do like the vehicle mode a lot. I like the back over here, the jets. And this looks pretty cool. Even though it is a little bit smaller, I feel like it's bearable. Alright guys, for the sake of saving time, I did not include a transformation. If you want to look at that, I have a separate link. But the reason why I believe this Starscream is better than the Voyager is because of the scale and sculpt. That's a big deal for me. As you can see here, I have Starscream pleading to Megatron to not blast him away, something we always see on the show. And I feel like this figure could actually pull it off better, the whole look, more than the Voyager. When it comes to the size and scale of both of them, I'll show a picture right now. By looking at that picture, you could tell that the Voyager class version is just way too big. I don't like the scale, I don't like the sculpt. And personally, I feel like this figure is a lot better when it comes to both of those. This one looks a lot more screen accurate. You could definitely get him in better poses, I feel like. The sculpt I didn't like a lot in the Voyager class because you see pictures, you saw reviews, you saw that it had a lot of kibble on his ankles. You know, I thought it was really unnecessary. I mean, I don't know, I think this one looks a lot better. When you think of Starscream on a show, he's a little weasel, grimy, sneaky, you know, opportunistic villain. And I think this figure pulls it off a lot better. The reason why someone's like that because he's a lot smaller, has to do things, you know, behind everyone's back. And if you're just like a huge figure, or a huge person, why would you have to do all that kind of stuff? Just like on the show, you see Starscream always whining and pleading with somebody to like have mercy on him. And I feel like this figure, you know, you get him really good poses to kind of show that off, like just like this. You know. Here's another picture of that Voyager class version with Megatron. And you can see, you know, this one just looks a lot better. I don't think you can honestly get cool poses like this, or even the same feeling with the Voyager class figure. I think this one's a lot better to give that off. Definitely really accurate, screen accurate too. You know, remember this is a first edition Transformers Prime figure, so they tend to be a lot more screen accurate and in detail and sculpt. Let's get into that right now. I love the face too. He has a little smirk there. The sculpt, the chest is really nice. The chest is a lot better too. I remember there's 2 panels on the Voyager class, and the people said that when you move the arms, they kind of flap up sometimes, aren't really secure. This is one whole panel, so it's a lot more secure. And just overall, I just think it looks a lot better. Let's get into articulation. Ball jointed head, nothing in the chest. He has ball jointed shoulders, bicep, elbow, and wrist goes left and right, up and down. Ball jointed hips, knee. It's a thigh swivel also, and it has the ankles. So pretty good articulation. And I definitely just believe, you know, this is a lot better figure than getting the Voyager class figure. Looking at his back, you can see that he has his thrusters, so looks like he could kind of fly in this mode, in the robot mode. The Voyager class version did not have this, so I think this is a big plus for it also. Size comparisons, here is Soundwave and Megatron with Starscream. I feel like this is a really good scale for all these three guys. Megatron's always a lot bigger than Starscream. If you can imagine, the Voyager version is the same height, and remember, it's a little bit wider too, so honestly, it doesn't make sense to me, it doesn't look right to me. These two, on the other hand, I do believe they should be the same size, but you're not going to get a new Soundwave anytime soon, so it's pretty bearable for now. But definitely, I think this Deluxe class figure of Starscream fits in a lot better with these two. In one of the latest episodes of Prime, you did see that Bulkhead and Starscream did face each other. I have a picture of that right now. You can see that even though Starscream was standing more upright and straighter than Bulkhead, Bulkhead was still a tiny bit bigger than him, so I think the scale's a lot better. Like I said, you can imagine the Voyager class would be a lot taller, so definitely this is a lot better. Here he is with some Deluxe class figures. Remember, they all are in the same scale, supposedly, but then he's just so much taller. That's why I think this figure is a lot better. He definitely looks pretty screen accurate, I would say, compared to these guys. I will have a picture at the end of someone made a picture on TFW2005.com of a perfect scale chart of all these guys, so I'll show you that at the end. But right now, this looks pretty good to me. In the latest episode of Transformers Prime, you probably saw the best scale size between Starscream and Optimus when he had him hostage and when they were talking. I'll show you a picture of that right now. You can see this is definitely a really good scale. The Voyager class of Starscream will be way too big, you know, in comparison, and this further my points of why you should get this one instead of the Voyager class version. Before I wrap this video up, take a look at this picture right now. You could go back and pause if you want, but I will have a link on below so you guys can save it yourself. But it's a really good scale picture of all the characters on Transformers Prime. Someone made that on TFW2005.com. He put a lot of work in it. A lot of people had their own input, was allowed to tell him what he should change and whatnot. So I think it's a really good scale to go by for all the characters. And if you see that, you know exactly why I think this is the better figure to buy compared to the Voyager class. In buying this figure, you know, he's a lot better in sculpt, a lot better in scale for the rest of your figures, a lot better in the paint job, and definitely a lot more screen accurate. And I think it's a lot better in general, obviously. You could definitely find him today online. It's not that hard. I found him really quickly, actually. He retails for about 40 bucks, give or take, online. Compared to the Voyager class out now, it is 10 bucks more because the Voyager class is 30. However, in getting that, you know, you get a lot better figure. And do remember, this is a first edition figure, so you will have the benefit of having a figure that is no longer in production, or at least not in stores and was canceled. So that's a big plus. So that's about it, guys. Thank you for watching. Like always, check out my other Prime reviews. I have a lot of them on my channel. And thank you for watching. Like always, comment, criticize, subscribe, do whatever you want, just pay attention. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and peace.